Hey, everybody, it's Maria from What's the Story with Maria. How's it going? So, welcome to our show. Tonight is Tuesday, July 30th. Oh my God, we are through July. July was rough. It was too hot. It's just too hot. I can't take it anymore. But anyway, so we're coming through that. August is traditionally a very nice month. So, we're running into that. But I could not let much more time go before bringing our guest on tonight. She's been on a show a bunch of times because she's always doing something. Our guest tonight is Karen Mack. She has a brand new album. She has a show coming up at Birdland, and she always has a million things going on. So, Leo, honey, hit that promo.
Yeah, I'm a big fish in a small pond. Days free and my nights long. I create my own reality. Who I am is fine with me. I'm famous, I'm famous as I wanna be. Who I am is fine with me. It's who I am. It's who I am.
Thanks, buddy. So we're back, and who do we have who's already popped in? Danielle from Danielle Alexandria Alchemy. She is our friend. She's a medium, a spiritual healer, a guide. She does all kinds of things, spirit animal reading. She talks to the other side. Yet we actually know someone that does that. She's our friend and she's amazing at it. So if you want to find Danielle, you find her at DanielleAlexandriaAlchemy.com. And she comes highly recommended by all of us firsthand. So go and check her out. It's also a great gift for someone. It's a very special thing to give someone as a gift. Lori Towers, our friend Lori Towers. Happy Tuesday, my family. Same to you, sweetheart. Lori is an amazing, she's a DJ. She's a musical historian. She and John Piotero, her husband, they do, Leo can tell you all about it because he's on WFMU.org. Sheena's Jungle Room, Beneath the Underground on Wednesday nights, right, Leo? Wednesday? Tell us
It's
about that.
eccentric behavior. It's the last Wednesday of the month, so it's all women rocking, changing the world, just like her right above there,
That's right.
changing the world.
That's right.
Mhm.
Absolutely. So go and check out Lori and John on Wednesday nights at, is it 10 o'clock? Yes. 10
Yep,
o'clock.
10 o'clock to the witching hour.
Yes. And 7 p.m. Eastern if you're on that side. So we always want to shout out our friends because we have the most amazing friends and they all do great things. Lori is also a publicist. So if you're looking for a publicist, and who isn't? Lori Towers is
Mhm.
your girl. So anyway, speaking of our girl up there in the corner, oh my
And if you
God.
need a photographer, this guy just signed in too for your publicist visit.
Who?
Bill Goffey.
Oh my God. You know what? Sometimes things don't come up on my feed. That's why I like to have it on both. Here it is. On both pages. Oh, there he is. Hi, kids. Hi, Maria. Hi, Bill. Bill's been under the weather this week. I hope you feel better, Billy.
Oh,
Poor little guy.
I'll call him and give him a little
Yeah,
harassment.
give him a little harassment. He made me some delicious pesto.
Ooh.
So good. Bill's a good cook. He's a very good cook, and he makes a really good pesto. Anyway, and you know what I cook it with? I make it well when I'm on the keto. I do this with escargot, which isn't everybody's favorite thing, but me, I love it. So I put Bill's pesto with a butter, a little bit of truffle, or a little bit of truffle, just a dot of truffle salt,
Mhm.
and those
Mm.
and garlic, minced garlic. Oh my God, forget about it.
Oh, I love fresh garlic has to,
Oh, it's the best, right?
everything.
It's the
I've been
best.
hitting fish lately. I've been doing a lot of tuna, shrimp, and cod.
That's very good for you, the omegas. I love that too. I eat a lot of that stuff, shrimp, a lot of shrimp. As a matter of fact, tonight for our meal, I won't give the reveal yet, but we're leaning in that direction.
Okay,
Because
yeah,
when you see this, that means I'm at Judy's. So it means I haven't cooked that tonight.
I know.
So I had to either Judy cooked or I got something. So I spoiled myself tonight and got something I really
Ooh,
wanted.
girl's been on the TikTok, just giving them and explaining things. Thank you, Senator Judy.
Oh, yeah, Judy's got an amazing TikTok. Have you ever seen Judy's TikTok? It's incredible. It's
Yes, I have,
why
especially nowadays.
it's really, really, really good. A lot of information and tons of passion. So it's
Mhm.
YM Grad. If you're on TikTok, follow Judy on YM Grad, and you can't believe how good it is. It's really, really, really good. She made a ton yesterday and some today. She got a lot of followers. So go and check
Mhm.
it out. I think you will be very happy. Yes, Judy is on TikTok. Danielle was asking, reveal, reveal. No, I'm not going to
Oh,
reveal
is
the
it
reveal. That's funny. We should,
reveal?
you know what? We should have a clip of that somewhere, right, Leo? At some point.
I should that's yeah.
That's funny.
We'll
That's
have
for the
that just for our little sound bites.
yes for our future. How was your week this week, Leo?
Pretty good. It's the last week of camp.
Oh my God, are you guys
We're
doing a
doing
show?
science week. Yeah, actually, we're doing a little cabaret show with what the kids that have stuck it through, and so they're gonna do. Some of them are singing, and I've been doing comedy routines with the older ones, kind of like camp skits and stuff, Carol Burnett sketch stuff.
I
That's
love
my
it.
favorite things to do. I
I
love that
know.
stuff.
Well,
So
that's what you love. I love that too. You were both big fans of that. You really are though.
mhm.
You
Oh,
love
I love, yeah, I love that that vaudevillian, a little burlesque, a little, depending on. But for the kids, it's all about the fun and telling the jokes, teaching them that comedy isn't just about being wacky, crazy. That's fun,
that's
but
really great that you teach them that delivery, that punchline delivery.
yep, yep, things in threes. I mean, you can't knock that,
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely. Bringing
so
things back around. Leo, that's really great. That's a great class for a kid or an adult.
it's a lot of fun. Yeah,
Yeah.
great for adults. We're getting ready to do senior cabaret coming in fall as well, and then I'm doing some song selections of Little Mermaid with the youngins.
Oh, I love
So,
that.
but I'm taking a week off in between.
Oh, good. You deserve it. My God. Okay, so
Mhm.
with first thing I want to do is I want to before we bring on our beautiful Karen Mack, who we love, she's a reoccurring guest on the show.
Karen, oh Karen Mack, we
I know
finally
she's
got you back.
that's right. She's always doing something amazing. Always, and she's super busy, but she's so talented and sweet. Okay, but not but and our friend James Jackson Jr. What do they have in common? Elliot Roth is their
Hmm.
uh, tends to be their musical director, and not always, but Elliot is the connector. He introduced me to James Jackson Jr., who I am absolutely crazy about. He's so talented, but he's also the nicest human being. So he is a lot of times in New York. A lot of our talented friends during the summer either go off and do like tours, or Fire Island is a big place that people perform. But Provincetown, whether you are in New York, Massachusetts, and on the North Shore, or even from other parts of the country in the summer, people take trips to Provincetown, which is my favorite place to be. Um, anyway, he's doing a show
There
at
we
the
go.
Post Office Cafe, which is famous. So the Post Office Cafe has a cabaret room upstairs, and I believe you can just go to it's PO Cabaret. Let me see, PO Cafe Cabaret, and if you click on that, that's their Instagram handle. You can find a link for tickets. But he is performing this Friday and Saturday there. And I'm not sure of times, but I'm going to venture this probably 8 p.m. You sounds about right. But go and check it out. And then he's back there in October, the 11th and 12th. But if you are in Provincetown this week, and I know a ton of my friends are, go and check out James Jackson Jr. He is a lovely, lovely, lovely. And I think he's going to be on Wendy Stewart's show tomorrow. Wendy
Oh,
Stewart and
cool.
Tim Moss. Yeah. If These Walls Could Talk. I just saw an advertisement for that come up. And that's a great show if you haven't seen it. It's a
Hmm.
really cool show on YouTube and Facebook. And they're our friends. So we always like to
You were
promote.
on it, and so is
I
our friend
was
Lori
on it.
Towers.
Lori Towers was on it. Lynn Portis, genius, was on it. It's a great show, and they're super sweet, and they make you feel really comfortable. So shout out to Wendy and Tim. All right, what do you think? You think we're ready? Uh,
I want some
I
cookies. A really
know.
quick shout
You know,
out.
go ahead.
It's end of
Oh,
July.
wow, that is our friend Chuck McKinney, and he is such a sweetheart. He works at the duplex I think 1 day a week, but he is a real estate agent. He is our friend, and he is Mr. July. And in that picture, he is cooking my meatballs because he buys a lot of sauce. Isn't that funny? He's so cute. And you know what I love about him when he does buy, like he just did last week, he bought meatballs, and usually buys meatballs and spicy sausage. And he when he cooks it, he does a whole Instagram thing with the
Oh
wine and the
wow.
zoom in and the zoom out and the music, and he's a great promo guy for me. So in my sauces, Leo, you know what? Next month,
Mm.
August 18th, makes 4 years that I've been making sauce. Isn't that crazy?
Mm.
And do you know that I have made over 4,100 quarts of sauce? Is that crazy?
Wow.
Because I went back and counted all the orders, because I buy them in big boxes of
Yeah.
240.
I remember when we made the labels.
Well, that's it. That's you, honey. You did such a good job. So thank you.
I think it was because of that advertisement that you had for your sauce.
Wow. Look at this sauce here. I mean, it looks good. The ingredients look good. Everything looks good. The container looks good. Everything looks really nice. But, I don't know. Is it any good?
Is it any good? A fucking face is on it.
Oh, I forgot about that, Leo. You rascally rabbit. Look who's here, Karen Mack.
Hi.
Hi, baby.
Oh my God, that is
Isn't
hilarious.
that hilarious? That was Nate Bucheri and Mario Davila.
Yeah, no kidding. No
Oh
kidding.
my God. And that was
Hilarious.
just at work at the end of a shift. And I was laughing. I was filming it, but I couldn't stop laughing. Anyway, they're so cute, my boys.
Listen, don't leave your soup out of the mix, lady. That soup is fantastic.
Thank you, Karen. I think
Oh,
so
yeah.
too. I forget about the soup quite often, but so I make, when I started making the soup much later than the sauce.
Yeah.
I started making the soup, and because you're a chef and a baker and all that, so you know how these things go. Yeah,
Home cook.
yeah. But I
Mhm.
started. It was during. So I had started making the sauce, but then a lot of my friends all of a sudden started getting COVID because it was 2020.
Yeah.
First thing was happening where people were losing their taste buds. They were like, "Oh my God, I can't taste anything." So I kind of panicked. I was like, I have to like restart their taste buds, right? So I
Right.
have to introduce, because a lot of COVID had to do with your brain, and it was like a crazy like crossing of wires of the brain and
Right.
the taste buds. So I said, I have to trick the brain. So I added spices that you would not normally add to chicken soup. So I like a lot of Middle Eastern spices. So I put spices from like the Middle East, and also like Asian spices. I added things from all over, and American spices, just to kind of like mix the brain up. And that's how it came to be. And it worked. So now people just like it because they like it, but it worked to restart taste buds. That was the whole point behind that chicken soup.
Didn't you
Anyway.
release it during the Epiphany though? Wasn't that the tie-in with the Three
Yes,
Kings?
I
thought
called
we did-
it. Yes, it was in January, so I called it Three Kings Chicken Soup because I thought it was right after Christmas. If Jesus had COVID, because you know how you create a brain.
Sure.
If Jesus had COVID, what would the Three Kings bring? They would use spices from their places. Their
Right.
spices from.
Yeah, they're beautiful warm spices that you've got in there.
Thank you, honey.
And it doesn't taste exotic. Like it doesn't taste like it's just warming and delicious and nice job.
Well, thank you, honey. I appreciate that. Coming from you, that means a lot.
I love soup.
Now, I love soup too, and I love salad. Salad's my thing. But now, okay, so let's talk about this before we launch into
I
all
love
the-
soup. Here you go.
I know. No, but Karen is so creative in the kitchen. She's creative everywhere. But when is Cookies Month?
Okay, so National Cookie Month is the month of October.
Oh, can't wait.
And so that's also like it's a good time of year. We're kind of like, we've come out of the summer. We're not quite at the holidays yet. The weather's turning. It's nice to.
My
I'm not that
favorite
I'm lobbying. I had nothing to do with it being October. It's one of those holidays. One of those national cheese month, national baseball month. National Cookie Month just happens to be October.
Love it.
Mhm.
So when did you start doing that?
I think this is going to be my 12th year. I think yeah.
Wow.
And it kind of was one of those, kind of like one of those things. You've always made sauce. You've
Yeah.
always shared food with people. It's always been something you loved, and then you found a way to connect it to people that you don't see all the time. And for
Yeah.
me, it wasn't ever anything like I didn't want to open a bakery. I didn't want to, like I've certainly had lots of food jobs, which is evidenced by the fact that I can only make coleslaw for 60 people. I can't make it for 5. But I just thought I was so. I feel like I've told you this story before. I apologize if I have. I was just I like social media. I'm one of I'm also
Me
one of those
too.
folks. I actually like Facebook. I like Facebook a lot because I'm wordy, I'm chatty. I love Instagram. I like all of it. But for me, I love that kind of communication. I got so annoyed that I went through a stretch of like weeks where nothing wasn't somebody trying to sell me something or trying to,
Right.
like convince me about something or buy this or come to the, and I just thought, wouldn't it be nice if we could find a way to put a little bit more social into social networking, like
Mm.
just. And I thought, what could I do that would just be fun for me? I'm not selling it. I'm not, there's no giveaway, there's nothing. Just what do I like to do that would be fun, that maybe would spark people to come on a, a more regular basis and connect with me. And I love cookies, and I've always loved to bake cookies and things. So that's kind of how it started. I just thought, I'm just going to
Unbelievable.
get up every day. I'm going to give myself a month. I'm going to take the
Wow.
month. I'm going to, at some point during the day, I will bake a cookie. I'll take a picture of it. I will post it, and then let people, let the games begin, as they say. And it turned into
Unbelievable.
this beautiful, weird, funny thing where
And then-
people suddenly were like, I've had a cookie that's like that, or my nana used to make that, or do you
Yep.
do anything that's gluten free? Like, and suddenly people were talking
Yeah.
in a way that had nothing to do with, oh, that, you'll never sell that in a bakery, it's not pretty enough. Like, there was none of that. Like,
Right.
people
Right.
had good spirits, and it was funny. And even people that I know that don't really eat a lot of sweets, or don't, they're very careful about it. Like, this was sort of a vicarious fun thing. So I really,
Well,
I loved it. Just was fun. And I also, the part of the story that I don't tell very often is I'm really sort of, I super love photography. Like, I really love photography. And if at some point in time I was going to find a way to have like a third act or another side hustle, like that's always, I love to take pictures, and that kind of capturing those little moments. So it kind of like paired up some things that I liked a lot. My early
wow.
pictures were awful, just the worst. Thank God for Apple. Thank God Apple dropped the phone that anybody can take a good picture.
Yeah,
So
but
it's
I gotta tell you, and October is my favorite month. It's just because I love it, and I grew up in New England, and I love all that stuff.
it is a good month. It's
It's a
it's a
great month, yeah. And so I always look forward to your cookies because
aw,
every
thanks.
day I go on I'm like, oh my God,
Thanks.
look at that. And you're right, it evokes memories, good memories of childhood, or like, I don't know, but you probably did this, but after school, we used to do a lot of baking with our friends. Like that was a
We
thing.
didn't do so much of that, but I was a painfully shy kid. So that would never have happened for me. But I loved home ec in school. That was my favorite
Yeah.
thing. And I did do a lot of just sort of like baking at home, like on my own, like different things. So yeah, it's
Yeah.
definitely part of.
Well, thank you
Um,
for
Thank you.
all that stuff that you
Thanks
do.
for shouting it out. It's nice for
Oh
people to
yeah,
know
so
about it.
October is around the corner. So
Coming
follow
up.
Karen, Karen
Yeah.
Mack, MACK. Follow Karen on Facebook and Instagram for many reasons. Oh, also my cousin Rena Crignali Berge has joined us, and she's a baker. She loves to bake.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, you guys would be really good friends. She's a lovely person, and those cookies look delicious. Rena does a lot of that too. Lynn
Hi,
Portis,
Rena.
genius. Your friend Lynn Portis has
Oh,
joined us.
Lynn Portis. God,
I know.
hi, honey.
We love
Mwah.
you. Big fans of
Love
Karen
you.
Mack. Okay, so now there's always a reason to bring Karen Mack on because you're just fun to be around, and
Well, I'm
also
just I'm
you're a lot of
perpetual
fun.
motion, my friend.
That's good. When's your birthday, by the way?
January 31st, Aquarian.
Oh, all right. Well, that makes sense. You're super
Cancer
smart.
rising, Leo moon. That's
I
kind
love
of
it.
a
Yeah, but I like that. My mother was a Leo. She's no joke.
Yeah.
All right, now you have a brand new album, Catch and Keep. Love the title. And you have a brand new show at Birdland. So, may I just say this, and then I'm going to let you talk. Your last album,
Oh, yeah.
Take That, is one of my favorite albums of all time. So I have certain albums at CDs that I used to keep in this little pouch. They were like my 12 favorites. And when I would travel on the bus or wherever the hell, I would keep this little thing and I with my little Walkman. And your album was always in there. It was like my favorite album. And I still love it and I still play it. So now
That's awesome.
You came up with a new album. I'm like, oh my God. So, okay, tell us all about the album. What do we need to know?
Listen, first of all, I love that you still play that I'm super proud of my first record. It was a long time ago, and I learned so much making that record, and I loved everybody that was on it. And it's funny because I just had I did this gig. There's a rooftop bar at one of the hotels in Midtown, and they have music a couple of days a week. And a friend of mine asked me if I would jump in and do one, and I thought it sounds fun. It's the summer, and it's nice to like do something that's just different and casual.
Mm-hmm.
And some of the people that were there and the guy that I did it with are people that I have known from the 20 years. From when, Paul Brubaker was on the gig with me.
Oh, wow. How cool.
And our friend Ted came to see it, and Ted plays on my first record. Lots of love coming to me from Michael Holland, who produced that first record and did all of the arrangements on it, and half of the tunes are his tunes. And he was out in Minneapolis with starting work on a new musical.
He's going to be on the show soon in the next few weeks. Yes.
Oh, yay. Oh, my
gosh.
Yes.
But he's been so crazy busy. I've been trying to get him on.
You'll have no time to talk about cookies with that boy. You think I'm busy. He's killing it.
I know.
But
I love him.
I love Take That, the first record. And I really feel like even all these years later, I feel like there were such cool ideas with the arrangements on it. I think the songs were really solid, and I feel like it doesn't, that it still holds up. So
the production value.
Yeah. Oh no, he did an incredible job, and I was very, very lucky that that at that point in time that those things were available to me, to those connections, and that those people really wanted to be involved with my music, because it was a long time ago. But I had been wanting to make a second record for a long time. I mean, I'm work and I write and I do a lot of things, and you do, because you write and you record, so that this is true. I happen to love being in the studio. I love making records. I love
favorite
that sort of thing. I really love it. And but you kind of do this thing where you're like, well, who would buy it? Why? It's really expensive, and who would buy it? And how do people get music now? And all of these things. So you kind of come up with these reasons in your head that maybe it's look, there's Elliot Roth in that picture. I was on the fence about it for a long time. It was just sort of like a back burner thing, and I stay really busy. I have a lot of really wonderful projects that I sing with. I sing with those girls, my vocal group project, and I do, I produce things, and but during COVID, everybody kind of got a timeout, and during COVID, I sort of did this. Kind of a step back into jazz performance and listening and kind of filling in some of the blanks in my music education and training, and that it was a great time for that. And I don't ever like to say, oh, it's great for COVID, good for COVID. It's not that at all. It was a horrible time, but I think it also gave a lot of people an opportunity to kind of maybe fill in the blanks in ways that they just kept themselves too busy to do. And I was one of those people.
Absolutely.
And so I did a lot of listening, and I did a lot of workshops, and I made a lot of really beautiful, I had a chance to do some beautiful collaborations and deepen some collaborations that I already had during this time. And I have a day gig. So I work at a medical nonprofit, and one of the amazing doctors that I work with in that job, he loves music. loves it, loves all kinds of, mostly like doo-wop and vocal music and jazz and things like that. And he every day, because we were the only ones that were physically in the office, every day he would play this stuff that I'd never heard before, like artists. I mean, artists that people know, like Carmen McRae and
Love Carmen.
Catherine Russell and all,
Right.
of course, people that are icons that we know, but also like older artists like Mildred Bailey and Ernestine Anderson and Johnny Hartman was new to me. I hadn't, like, people that other people were listening to. I hadn't, and it suddenly dawned on me that the only reason, like, that my life was so rich for being able to like absorb all of that music, and that was only possible because somebody had the presence of mind and the guts to record it way back in the
Right.
day and make a record.
Right.
So I thought, you know what, I'm gonna stop. I'm just gonna listen to the universe, listen to my heart. I'm going to find, if there's a way to do it, I'm going to find a way. And if there's not, there's not. And as it turned out, there was. People were very kind. I knew I wanted the record to be a little more jazz forward than stuff I had done in the past. I knew I wanted some originals on it. I wanted a chance to work with my friend Peter Eldridge and some other amazing players that are on this record. And I just kind of put it out there and said, you know, I'd love to do this. We did some crowdfunding back in like the very end of 2022, thinking,
Mm.
you know, whatever happens. Maybe it'll be like an EP, maybe it'll be a thing. And people stepped up and really like were interested and liked that it was a new direction. And so that's really
Yeah.
the backstory. The record's called Catch and Keep. It is I think a really fun you know, the material is always the most important thing to me. So it's a collection of great contemporary jazz tunes and some original tunes, and stuff by writers that are maybe not as exposed as I think they should be, like Dave Cantor and Betty Bryant. And
Now you co-wrote some of the songs.
I did,
right?
yeah. There's a tune that I wrote with some help from our friend Elliot Roth. And
Who's amazing.
yeah, I
Elliot
love him.
is
I love him so
amazing.
much, and it's
Me
funny 'cause
too.
it's a tune that was around for a long time, and I just didn't know how the bridge. It had like 11 different bridges in its life. I didn't think it was ever going to get finished. And then when Elliot and I first started working together, and we were writing a bunch of different things, I pulled it out of the drawer and I was like, "What do you think of this? How does this go?" And it's like, "Oh, that goes like this." Dun, 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 dun. I was like, "Oh, all right then. Put your name on it. You know, here's your piece of the publishing," and we finished it. So that's a song called November
Great.
Day. That's on
I
the
love
record.
that.
And Peter Eldridge, who produced it with me, he and I wrote a tune called Hurry Up and Wait. That's on the record. And they're all sort of in, we didn't build it this way. We just kind of pulled songs that spoke to us and that we had cool, like we thought good ideas for. But then when you sometimes when you lay it out, you know, like sometimes it's like one of those puzzles where they don't show you the picture on the front of the puzzle, and then you
Yeah.
put the pieces together and then you see it's a horsey, or whatever it is.
Right.
For
Right.
us, we put it all together, and then we realized that these are all different kinds of snapshots about the ways that people hold on to things and the ways that people let go of things.
Oh, I
And
love
so
that.
some of them are very cheeky and very, you know, kind of ridiculous, as people are, and then some of them are more, you know, thought provoking and touching. But it's they all kind of have that in common. So that's a Catch and Keep is part of the lyric of Hurry Up and Wait.
Oh, I love that. It's so, I can't wait. I can't wait. And there's two ways to get it. You can get it digitally.
There's a bunch of ways to get it.
So
Absolutely.
tell
You
us,
can,
tell us.
yeah, so you can get it if you still like CDs. I still
I
have
do.
CDs.
I love
They're
CDs.
coming back around.
Yeah.
So a friend of mine has a friend in Germany that's putting out a new record only on cassette. So things come back around.
Yeah.
But you can get it on a physical CD, or you can get it certainly digitally. If that's what you're doing now.
Yep. Yep.
You can stream it on, you know, Spotify and Apple Music and all the usual suspects. It's
And
so nice to be out in the world.
Out now, or
It is. It's out.
Okay,
It came
good.
out at the very end of June. We dropped at the end of June, and it's now it's, you know, it takes a little bit before it's live everywhere, but it's up on Bandcamp.com.
what's
And,
Band?
that's
I
a
don't know
great place to-
Bandcamp.
Bandcamp is a great resource. You would love Bandcamp because it's a lot of it's a great platform for independent artists
Really?
and small labels, and there are lots and lots of you know who's got her stuff, Mary Foster Conklin.
Oh
has her stuff
wow.
up there, and Andrea Wolper, and just a lot of, and all different styles. It's not just a jazz
Oh,
thing.
I'm
I
gonna
mean,
check it out.
it's very cool. And on the first Friday of the month, they do a thing called Bandcamp Friday, where any music that you buy on that first Friday of the month, they waive all of the money that they would take. So all of the money goes to the artist
Oh my
if you buy it
God.
on that day. But you can also, like, you can kind of needle drop and hear the tracks and see what you'd like, and you can just, if you just want one track, you can buy one track. But I think you'd like the whole record. I think it's
Oh
nice as a
wow.
whole
Oh
piece.
no, I'm buying the whole record.
You have to buy.
I
I'll send you one.
no, you're not
Oh,
sending me one. It's good karma. It's good karma for me as an artist to buy other artists' stuff. That's the way I like to do it.
I listen.
Don't take that
I will
joy
fight
away
you
from
on it
me.
because I do the same thing.
No,
When
and
you
what I usually do is I buy the CD and I buy it digitally
well,
because
that's the good thing about Bandcamp. If you buy the CD, you get a digital download.
oh
You don't have to buy them both. If you buy the CD, you get the download.
that's it. I'm going that way.
It's
Now
good. It's a good site.
let's go back and remind everybody it's called Catch and Keep. Karen Mack, MACK.
Right, like the truck, not like the cosmetics.
Exact, perfect. And Bandcamp now we're going. Let's check that out. I
It's
like that.
listen, folks. It's a really a good resource. They're nice people that run it. It's certainly not the only game in town. There are lots of places to buy music, and if you like to buy music on Amazon or whatever, I mean,
Whatever you like.
nowadays people just distribute everywhere. It's not like you really steer people, but I just happen to like their philosophy, and I like the variety of content that they have and how they help you to keep in touch with people that check you out and buy your music.
And isn't that what it's all about anyway?
I
I
think it
mean,
is.
oh.
I mean, that was really my goal for this. I'm 100. It's not like it's going to chart. It's not like you're going to sell 1 million copies.
Well,
That's not,
if
you
you're
know.
100, I'm 102, so I'll
Well,
always
you
be
know what I'm
older
saying.
than you.
You know
I'll
what I'm
always
saying.
be older than you. Remember that.
It's interesting because it's almost like the things that make you go, oh, the music business are kind of at a certain age make you go, oh, the music business, because it no longer has to pay your mortgage, and you no longer have this ridiculous
Right.
competition. It's like there's so much
You're
music
just
that rolls
enjoying
out
it.
every single day. Just do what you do and try to be as open and assertive's not the right word, but proactive about getting your music to people. Mary Foster Conklin always says, go where it's warm.
Oh, that's
So
nice.
find, don't get tripped up by the people that, trying to win over somebody that it's not their thing. Let them like what they like,
Yeah,
and let them
right.
know how to find you. Maybe they would like you, but get it to the, just get it out into the world where it lifts people up, and people will find it that will like it. And we've been very fortunate in that we've had a lot of radio play. Even though it's a very new release, but a lot of stations have kind of picked up on it. And I just got a notification the other day that there's this really cool website about Brazilian music, but they have a section called Beyond Brazil, and the album was
Wow.
featured on that. A great track off the album called "Here Is Everything" by Chiara Savello, and that's another tune that Elliot Roth turned me on to, and I just
Wow.
fell in love with it. And we do it a little differently than she does, but yeah, he's on the record, and he's a writer on the record and a player on the record. So
And he's
I
a
owe him a
sweetheart.
debt.
We love him. Okay, let's take a second to acknowledge some of our friends that
Yes,
came on.
please.
Rick Sudi Caritas has joined us. Lynn Portis Jr. says Aquarius. Yes, that's right. We know how smart they are. Andy Prasky. Hi, Andy. Hello, Maria, Leo, and Karen. Andy's fabulous. Darius Frowner. Hi, Maria and
Hi,
Karen.
Darius.
Hi, Darius. And who else? Oh, yeah. Andy says, I love It's Hard to Say Goodbye, but it makes me hungry.
Oh, I love that you like that tune. And that is the tune that Elliot's on. It's the closer of the record, and it's written by this amazing songwriter, performer, jazzer, Betty Bryant. She's 94. 94. She's still
Wow.
gigging. She just put out a new record last year. She's
I
gonna put out another
love
one this year.
that.
Oh, they do this big gig at this club in California for her birthday. I think Elliot and I are going to try to fly out to
Really?
see her play, and she's been nothing but lovely. I mean, it's really,
Wow.
and she's really, you dig her. She's a really good songwriter. She's got and great chops, great piano chops, great singer.
Isn't that incredible? You know what
Yeah.
I feel like? I feel like I mean, when you were talking about how it changes as you get older, I agree. This is how I feel. It used to be, I don't know if you can identify with this, but when we were younger, it was about like making a living. Like, oh my God, I got to do this. I got to sell that. I
Sure.
have to make it. And now it's about, like, for me, leaving a legacy. So
That's
of
beautiful.
of course we all need to make money because we got to pay our bills, but it's not where I'm like, oh, if I sell this song, then I'm going to be able to do this and do that. I don't even, it's like, it's either going to happen or never going to happen. And if it does, great. But now it would just be like a plus. But now it's about leaving a legacy. Like, what's my body of work? Like, what do I want to leave on this earth? So if anybody in 20, 40 years looks up Maria Gentili, Karen Mack, Leo Rodriguez, what do they see? And I think that that's important. And to also leave like this legacy of like, you're someone that people liked working with,
See, that's absolutely. I don't I always maintain like it's not like people in town are gonna go, oh, that I'm the best singer, but I know
Well,
that
you're pretty
people would
amazing.
listen. I am very grateful. I try very hard to be the best I can be at what I do, but I will say I'm on time. I'm a pleasure to work with.
Yeah.
I'll come in prepared. It's
Yep.
those kinds of things. But don't you think when you think back to those younger days to how how hungry we were, to try to have a hit or try to do something, it's because that's where your value came from. If you were a musician and you weren't making money as a musician
Yeah.
or you weren't on a pro track, then your value somehow in your head, your value was less. And I think once there's a healthy independent scene and
Yep.
nobody's saying I have to choose you or you're worthless, I
Yeah. And
think
you know
things
what
change.
else? I think that it's about, I don't know. It's like a lot of times what happens is there's a window, right? And I think there's a certain place, whether it's a man or a woman. I think for women that the clock ticks differently.
Mm.
And if a lot of people that I know that came to the city, and they had to do it by a certain time. Otherwise, they just stopped doing it, or they
Oh, for
went
sure.
back to wherever they were. And
For sure.
what happens is that you then you get to a certain place in your life where you're like, okay, maybe I did leave the city, maybe I did do this, maybe I changed up, but you know what? I'm still an artist, and
Absolutely.
you breathe with that, and you're like, I'm
Absolutely.
always going to be an artist, no matter what I do, whether we teach, no matter whatever we work for a doctor, whatever we do, we still are artists all the time. I always say to people, because I hear lots of times people are like, oh, I haven't done this in years. I go, look, or I haven't sung in years. A car is still a car, whether it's in the garage or it's on the road. You are still an artist. Whether you just, if you feel like that, start moving. Turn that key. Get out there again. But a car is still a car. An artist always thinks like an artist, no matter what.
For sure.
And I think
For
that's
sure.
really what it's about. And as you get older, you just start to enjoy other people's art and their effort and
Oh my
the
God,
details of
absolutely.
their work, right?
I love collaboration, and I love that I have so many friends that are creative in so many different ways. And
Yeah.
that was another thing too when again when you're like back in the day kind of thing. Um you had to pick a lane. Like
Yeah.
they had to know you had to know where to put your record in the record store. There you had to know which bin you were going to go in.
Yep. You're
I'm
right.
very much a hybrid. I do lots of different things. And
Mhm.
that made it really hard for me for a long time. For a long time as an artist, I felt like that was a liability. Like that was a problem, that I should focus, that I should pick something. And then the more that you taught me this, truly, Maria, that the more that you write, the more that you connect with that part of your creativity, and the more that you write and the more that you show up and be open for different things, the more you find who you really are. And very few of us are just one color or one thing.
Yeah,
And so now I'm very
absolutely.
proud to say that I'm a hybrid, and I'm very proud that my influences are different, and that the people that I love, the people whose music I want to get out there and lift up, are from lots of different styles, from
Yeah, and you
folk,
know
from
what
jazz,
else?
from theater
You
music.
you just reminded me of something else, like about collaborating. I find that when you collaborate with different people, you realize that you are in lots of ways, if you're good, if you're open And what I mean by good is being open.
Right.
In this creative world, we must be open. You cannot be one like hard-headed. And if you're open as a creative person, you're going to realize what a mirror you are for other people. So, like if you work with Elliot, you write a certain way. If you work with Lynn Portis, you work a certain. You
Sure.
write Wilty, you're going to write different stuff with different people because if you're good at what you do, you're exchanging back and forth, and that brings you to a
and that's
different
beautiful.
level.
That's the beautiful thing about it. You're creating something together, you know.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. Okay,
And I want to say, you're also,
yes.
as you get older, you have a different sense of self-worth. You have your
Yes.
own worth. And if you had gotten stuck with one hit, think of how many of those same hits you would have had to make to stay alive rather than having the eclectic,
Well, that's
wonderful
why the
library
second.
that you have
That
now.
is why. Listen, that's why it took me 20 years to put a second record out because
Yeah, I
the
hear
first
you.
record, the first record is the sum total of, for most artists, especially people who write, years and years and years of working on something and crafting and all of it, and then suddenly
Right.
they're like, "That was amazing," and in 6 months you're going to do another one. You're like, "No, I don't have any
Mm.
ideas for that," you know. So everybody, the second record is always like, "Oh, okay." So
Yeah.
I'm sure that, you know, that again, that gets in your head, you know.
Right. Right. And so, let's take a second because we have more people that popped on.
I
Gene
think I saw
Simpson.
Jennifer Pace pop on.
Oh,
Jenny,
oh,
if you're
there
out
she
there.
is. Hi, Jenny.
Hi,
What's
honey.
up, Jen?
Welcome home, welcome back. She was in California, I think,
That's
visiting
right.
family.
Yep.
She was.
Yep. She
How's
had
Tessie?
a lot of posts from the pool. Jennifer had a lot of posts. From the
I
pool
know.
in
Oh, isn't that
California.
nice? I
Yes,
have to say
very
I live
nice.
very vicariously through that.
Right.
We've also, like, we've shouted at Elliot a couple of times. He had a thing tonight, or he would have loved to have been on with me. But can I shout out something that he's got
Of
going on?
course. Of course.
So Elliot, as you know, is a Leo. His birthday's in August, and he and I have a monthly residency downtown at Pangea. We always take some time off in the summer because he goes away to teach.
Yeah.
So we would often be back now, but graciously, because I have my CD release party gig, the big concert for that at the end of August, we're gonna roll back out in September. But on August 11th, which is a Sunday,
Hmm.
he will be out at Freddy's Bar in Brooklyn with Sarah Muko,
I
who's
love
great,
Sarah.
and they've been doing that gig for a long time, and it's from 5 to 8, and sometimes they stream it. And our Sarah Muko had a very unfortunate thing that happened with her guitar, where she had a major damage, and she
Oh,
needs to
really?
replace it. And so if anyone's in Brooklyn and is of a mind to go listen to some music, throw a cash in her jar or throw some her way from the online stream, even just tune in and say, hey, you know, have a great day, any of that. I'm
And
sure
that's
all of that is
August
welcome.
11th.
That's August 11th from 5 to
Okay.
8.
Okay. August 11th, 5 to 8. Freddy's
Freddy's in Brooklyn.
in Brooklyn. Okay. And that's a great spot too. Now,
It is.
Gene Simpson Dunn has checked in.
Hi,
Love
Gene.
the analogy. Karen analogy. Thank you. Karen, sometimes I'm breaking things down in my head and I can barely see with these glasses. Karen Vergano, our friend, Joey and I loved listening tonight. Well,
Thanks.
We love you. And Andy Presky says the jazz genre is one of the most difficult musical arenas to conquer. One has to be very courageous.
Indeed.
I agree. Now, you have a show coming up at Birdland.
I do.
Yeah.
I do. I can't believe it.
Oh my God, which is such a great thing. So that is, it's Monday, August 26th. The doors open at 5:30.
Yeah, they like 5:45. I think they open up because they do dinner before. You don't have to get there at 5:45, but it is, even if you have tickets, it's still general admission seating. So, you know, line up based on your conscience. It's a 7 o'clock hit.
Okay, great. And that's going to be wonderful. Who's playing for you?
Oh, we've got, it's most of the players from the record, which is really
great.
exciting because we haven't gotten to do this music live. Like this was all
Wow.
stuff that we put together and then took into the studio to do. So it's going to be super special and fun and probably a little ridiculous. But it's Peter Eldridge on piano and Pete McCann, who's an amazing jazz guitar player on guitars. Jesse Lewis, who played on the record, is away on another gig. We've got Matt Aronoff on bass. We've got Mark McLean on drums. He's gonna
Wow.
kill it.
What a crew.
And Elliot will be there, of course, and Darman Meter on saxes, and probably a few other surprises. But I've done lots of things at Birdland, but I've never been the headliner, and I've certainly never been the headliner in that upstairs room. So it's an iconic, it's a historic room, and I'm feeling today like it was a terrible idea, but I think it's gonna,
It's gonna be great.
I think it's gonna be super fun, and people have been, again, so kind and so excited. And tickets are on sale now.
Yeah.
And please come.
Yes.
Because it's I promise it'll be a good time, and there will be some surprises.
It's gonna be great. So once
Because we're not
again,
just going to do the stuff that's on the record. Like, we're not, like, some people do that at their record release. They just kind of start at the top and they go through it. But the record at this point will have been out for a couple months, and I feel like people will have been listening. So we're certainly going to do a lot of stuff that's on the record, and maybe some things in a little different way. But we do have some new things and some fun things to discuss.
I'm looking forward to it. It's gonna be
Oh,
great.
thanks, Maria.
Oh, absolutely. So go and check that out. Get your tickets for that, because that will sell out, and that's going to be an amazing time. And that's a beautiful room. That is
It is, and the
room.
food is good, and they pour an honest drink, and
Yeah.
and they have a wide range of things. If you're not a big drinker, you're vegetarian, like they really do try to cater to, I guess because they get so many tourists there, it's such a famous place. They really try to be mindful of
No,
being
I like
inclusive
that
for
room
everybody.
a lot. It's great. It's easy to
Yeah,
get
I'm
to.
very
I think
grateful. Jim Caruso
43rd Street. Is it
Gianni. It's
43rd Street?
44th
44th.
between 8th and 9th.
8th and 9th. Okay. All right. We're going to take a minute to do the food section of our show.
Yeah.
Called
Food.
Okay. No, it's called Go Ahead.
Go ahead.
Keep eating. All right. So as I said, I'm not at my house. When I'm at my house, I cook from scratch. But here, so I when I'm here broadcasting, I let myself get what I want, right? So I'm on the keto because I'm going to a wedding this Saturday, and everybody knows when I have an event, I have to lose like that power weight in a week or 2 weeks. So I have to go on the keto. So what did I get? There's this place called Jack's Lobster Shack, right?
Oh.
That I love. It's on River Road in Edgewater. And so this is totally keto. It's an arugula salad with goat cheese and beets. And then you can order either chicken, lobster, shrimp on top of it. And I got
Is
the
that like
lobster.
claws? Is that lobster claws?
These are lobster claws cooked in butter. Oh my God.
I love the keto.
I love the keto too.
I love the keto. As I eat this cookie.
No, it's the only thing I was going to say. I feel deprived is sweets. That's the only thing.
Yep.
But it's one diet that I can stick to, lose my weight, and then I can go crazy for a few weeks and then go back on it. But anyway, that's what we're having tonight. I'm going to put a little balsamic vinegar.
Looks delicious.
And maybe a little avocado oil. I'm thinking very simple. Salt and pepper, and that should do it.
I thought of you. We went to this this French restaurant last night. I had an outreach gig with the girls. This really nice. We try to do as much of that as we can, like residences and people have limited mobility, things like that. And we had a nice one yesterday that we did through the New York Pops, and it was really nice. And then we went for dinner after. And to this French place, and they had this chicken salad, and I thought of you because I think it's keto. I think it's keto friendly because it was mostly like chicken, like baked chicken. You could do the chicken any style that you want, right? And then they chopped it up into little tiny pieces, and then they mixed it with apple, like green apple, and some dried cranberries. That you might want to leave those. There's a lot of sugar in that.
That's okay.
And then the whole thing,
limit it.
They dressed it in like a vinaigrette. Like a basil vinaigrette or something, and it was mostly chicken, and you could put that on greens or you could just have it by itself. But I thought of you because I thought
it has you know what else you can do on keto, although Leo's allergic so he can't, but this has walnuts too. I use a lot of nuts.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you could totally put nuts in it. I don't know that you could put cheese in it. I think it would get kind of gooey.
Yeah.
But I was like, oh, I'm gonna remember this because this is
It's good.
um
It's easy.
you
It's
know
easy. And then I also here's a little honeydew melon. I can have a little
nice.
of that. You know what I just discovered? Um, so melon, like honeydew melon or watermelon, a lot of these little street vendors are selling it like Leo, our Mexican friends. They're selling it with tahine.
Oh yeah. Oh no,
Mm.
that's a thing.
Oh my God, I
Especially
never
like cantaloupe or
knew.
they do mango like that too, don't they?
Oh my God, it's off the hook.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm yeah,
Now
sure.
I'm hooked. I can't eat it without it.
Yeah.
If you're truly Latin, you'll try to put tahini on anything, really.
Well,
Oh
here
my
here in
God.
my house, in my
Yeah.
home, we have rediscovered are either of you old enough to remember Peak Friends?
Yeah.
Peak Friends had honestly, it's not a memorable cookie. It's a really retro cookie, but they had this jingle in the 70s that was basically like Peak Friends are a very serious cookie. And I don't know what made us think of it, but my husband, because he can't, once something like that gets in there, he somehow found this company in Canada that still makes them. So now,
Oh wow.
again, we can't just have one box. No, sir. We have to get a crate of them
Right.
because what happens if we go through it? So we have a
Is
lot
that
of
the
Peak
cookie?
Friends. Yes, that's the cookie.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's
So
so
we're
good.
having Peak Friends,
I
which are
know.
actually very delicious, and I might reach out to them to try to throw them some love
Recre-
during Cookie Month.
Is it
See if I
a
can bring them back.
shortbread kind of cookie
This
or
one
a?
is they have a few different kinds. The one that's kind of the best is because it didn't used to be made in Canada. I think it used to be made by Nabisco, but nobody bit. So then they went off the market, and then this Canadian company took them, and they make a maple one. So it's like a sandwich cookie with maple cream in the middle of it,
Oh, I
and it's
love
Yeah,
that.
Canada.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
it's Canada. So needless
Maple.
to say,
You know, speaking of
it's better
sea-
than what we've got here.
seasonal cookies, Trader Joe does this thing called they're called JoJo's.
Oh yeah, the candy
And
cane
they're-
ones at Christmas.
They
right?
have all different flavors, so
Yep.
depending on the season. So they're kind of like Oreos, but I think they're better.
Yeah,
And-
they're different. They're
yeah.
delicious.
And they have different ones. And at fall time, they have pumpkin JoJo's.
Yep.
Unbelievable.
Yep.
They have
know who-
maple JoJo's.
You know who likes those? Sydney Meyer likes those.
I may
Oh,
have to
Sydney.
buy
Sydney
a
likes this
box and
because,
drop them off
our
for
Rachel-
Sydney Maya. I might have to do
stop.
that.
Yeah, our Rachel Hanser in those girls. Every holiday, if we're near Mama's for any reason, she's always like smugly get a package of JoJo's for Sydney.
Oh, now I know. See, I won't forget that. I'll bring him some because
Oh.
I'm doing Goldie DeVere's
Oh my God! When are you doing that? That is so fun. It's a great
November. I'm
show.
going to do the November one.
You'll
Yay.
shout it out, right? You'll make.
Oh
sure that
yeah,
we all
I'll
know?
let you know. And I'm going to write 2 new songs for it.
Oh my God,
Yeah,
that's
so-
awesome!
so
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm that's going to be fun. I think it's so great that she's doing that. And she's so
I wrote I was on the first one that she
You
did. And
were?
I did, and I wrote something that morning to do with the show
What?
that night. Yeah, and it was.
See what I
I
Wow.
was
mean?
so grateful that I said yes because that tune would never have gotten finished. But I was like,
See?
nope,
That's
I'm doing
what I
something
mean.
new. So I'm so glad you're going to write stuff for it. That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm going to do. I think it's November 20th or something like that. I have to look at it
She
again.
should
But
come on the show at some point.
she's been.
She's chatty. She's a good talker.
I love her. We
Says
she
me
was
who hasn't
on.
shut up yet.
I love it. She was on the show a few weeks ago. And then when we were done, she and I stayed on and just started yapping, and we yapped for an hour and 20 minutes.
She's great.
She's
She's
great.
a great lady.
That's why I'm laughing. She said she's a little chatty, and I knew about your conversation you had longer. I'm like, yo,
Oh,
they had
yeah.
a good
Well, I can
conversation.
listen. I'll
Oh,
talk. I can talk to a tree. I mean, I'm telling you.
I can't say hello in less than 20 minutes. It's
Yeah.
like, it's a thing.
Yeah,
It's
I
just my
love it.
thing.
I love it. So, all right, let's.
Thank you so
recap.
much for having me on, honey. This was
We
so
love
much
you,
fun.
honey. And you always have fun stuff happening. But I looked and I try to look ahead to see what's coming up and stuff
You're so
because I
thoughtful.
want to try to promote, things closer to when they're happening. And I just was like, I kept thinking, I got to call Karen. And so I'm glad that this worked out because I got different people lined up coming up for different things. But
Wow, I really appreciated it. It's how you shine light on all of us and
Well-
keep us connected and give us some place every week to kind of come in and check in and see interesting new things. It's really special,
Yeah,
both
well,
of
it's
you.
me. I
So
mean,
thank you,
and Leo's like the mastermind behind all this stuff,
Leo.
popping all this stuff on. It's you're so good, Leo. Thank you.
You
Um,
totally are.
so, and I always say this: if you have or have anything, just send it to me, and I'll put it on my show wall.
Thanks.
All that, and then of course I'll share this video. And anybody's always welcome to share our videos anywhere you like. And because we promote, the mission of our show is to celebrate creative people and the reality of living as a creative person, and what that
Yeah.
really means, the day to day. And some of it's beautiful and some of it's really hard, but it's always worth it. So
For sure.
keep creating, keep making cookies, keep eating cookies,
Keep writing
Oh, yeah.
songs.
keep writing songs. And after this Saturday, after I go to the wedding, then I'll eat. I'll eat at the wedding, and then
Okay. And
Okay.
we're overdue for a session, so let's write some tunes.
Oh my God, I would love that. That would be incredible.
2024.
Let's do it. I'm ready.
All right.
I'm ready. And I got my new shirt in the mail today, so I did want to
Oh,
share that.
nice.
How cool is that? I bought one for me and one for Judy.
Nice.
So anyway, yeah, just heard a speech. She was amazing.
Oh,
love you.
say it to my face speech. That speech.
It was very cool. I always liked her. I think she's
I did
really cool. And you know what? I know there's a lot of rumbles, but I think things are going to be good. And by the way, if you are someone that wants to get active, there's many things you can do. Postcards to swing states is one of them. That's what I do. Thank you, Leo. What Judy's been doing is she canvassed in Pennsylvania this Saturday.
Wow.
Is that amazing? She went door to door.
That's my home state.
What is it? Okay. You can sign up for Women for Harris. Oh, that's okay. She's doing a Zoom next Tuesday, Cuban Women for Harris. You know how, like on TikTok now, they have all these different white women for Harris, black women for Harris, Latinas for Harris. They had white dudes for Harris which was
And they raised like
incredible.
$1.8 million or something like that.
Yeah. And so Judy's starting. She started it. This whole
Amen,
movement.
Andy.
Yeah, I know. Cuban Women for Harris, and Cubans tend to traditionally vote Republican, so this is incredibly important. So that's next Tuesday. And go to
Why is
Judy's
that?
YouTube page. TikTok page. It's YM, so Eudania Mesa grad, GRAD. So look for her on TikTok because her TikToks are really, really, really funny, powerful, poignant, and get the word out. So thank you. We love Karen Mack. Always a pleasure. Can't tell you enough how much we love you.
Thank you so much. Danielle, I'm going to come find you.
Oh no, you don't
You
understand.
probably already know that.
Danielle is amazing. Amazing. I gave her to so many gifts for Christmas a few years ago, and everybody had a great experience. And Danielle's a wonderful person, and she's really
That's
good at what
her
she does.
Instagram page,
Oh, thank
everybody. If
you.
you're looking
That's
at that, that's her
awesome. I'm
Instagram.
gonna screenshot that.
It's
Yeah.
the same thing, and she's got underscore though. Danielle underscore Alexandria underscore alchemy. So don't forget that.
Okay.
Danielle, that's a generous thing that you do too, that you share that gift with people.
Yeah, and let me tell you what else. Danielle has donated many a session. Like if we've had benefits and things like that, she's the first one to donate something.
That's
So
lovely.
I do want to say that too. Danielle's been very, very part of our community. So thank you, everyone.
Definitely connected.
Leo, we love you. Thank you for
Mwah.
everything you do. Karen Mack, thank you for everything you do.
Love you
You're
both.
amazing.
Thank you.
And thanks to everybody
My
that
cookie,
come, the
Mac.
people that come back week after week after week. We love and appreciate you. We'll see you next week.